All right, let's go ahead and continue on with our design. We're making good progress on this homepage for desktop so far. And a lot of this, most of our work is, occurring right now. Once we get this homepage finished, creating the other subpages are going to go much easier because we've already established the standards in our design system. So looking back to our wireframe and our client brief specifically, exchanges we offer. So has the ability to offer 4 different types of ads, which we've illustrated in the wireframe. And we need to basically put this into a design that mimics this, but works with our current design. So we have our exchanges on the side, and we have these on the top here with these little check marks. So let's see if we can make this look good. All right. So the first thing I'll consider is we're going to have kind of like those column labels at the top right here. So let's go ahead. Well, actually, let's put the exchange names first and see how that looks. So we will go ahead and take, I know we're not going to use this type specifically. There we go. Let's just break that real quickly. And we're going to put the first one is what's called crypto space. And let's auto width that. And I think we're going to, for this, we're just going to use white. So make this white. And I think we'll also make it bold. All right, so for that, this size is at 20. I think we're going to go ahead and use this, bump this up to 24 or so. And I think I also, for the whole chart, we're going to wrap it in a container of sorts that's going to be slightly darker than the background that it's sitting on. All right, so I don't think we have a color in our design system that's darker than this here currently. So if we take this and we look, this is primary color 10. We're going to have to use one that's maybe 5 or so. And so let's get a container out, Control-Shift-4, all the way across. And if we use this one, this is our darkest, it's going to be the same color as our background, so we're going to lose it. Control-Shift-4 again. And now we're going to break this, and then we're just going to take down lightness, maybe just a shade or 2 darker, perhaps to 8. All right, so I think that works pretty good. We also want to give this a border radius. If we have any other type of bit larger containers, we want to mimic the same border radius, but we don't. So we're just going to choose something around 15, and that we'll use. Now, you could go the opposite route of this and bump this up, for instance, to be lighter. You could see, and it's going to be very hard for you perhaps to see. I think we're going to go the lighter route. The difference, because these containers and the way that I'm using it, kind of like a card, are very low contrast. And they don't have to be high contrast. So we'll right click and bring this to front. And this will be our first column that houses our exchange. So what we can do is duplicate this. We'll put here add blocks. And then we just have the rest of these to position. So we'll duplicate that, use our guides, duplicate a few more times and just adjust this. So this will be Mooners. This will be Forex Crypt. And then finally, Junction Space. And we may end up making, I think I'm going to extend those out just a bit further, or more white space rather in between them, perhaps like right around here. And so we'll just adjust these real quickly. There we go. All right, so next up, we're going to have the column labels at the top, and that is interstitial, retargeting, email, and shout out. So going back here, this is going to be exchange as well. So we could put a label for exchange. For our type style, we can try paragraph. I like that. We can also change the fill color here. maybe to a lighter. I think I like that as well. Okay, so exchange. We'll put in here interstitial. It's kind of a funny word to spell. And then over here, we can put retargeting. This one can be email, and then this one could be shout out. Now I know we have funky alignment right now, but we can adjust this here in a bit. So I think shout out will put probably further out, and these will be kind of spread out because we're on a larger desktop. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I may want to change this up though. I don't want to use our type paragraph for this, so let's change this perhaps to 16. And also, there's a little bit too much color saturation in this. I may want to change this here to desaturate the text a little bit, but also make it a little bit darker. There we go. So I think changing this here to 70 and 13 works well for the lightness and the saturation. All right. Great. So next up, let's add a check mark. So let's use Iconify for that. So check. I think I like this one right here. And we can make this our primary color. And we'll enlarge this to a size that looks appropriate. And I think that maybe slightly smaller. So that is a size of 34 by 34. We can go ahead and duplicate this. All right, now one thing I don't like is the unevenness of these. So what we can do is, I'm gonna spread this out just a little bit further, and we're gonna re-situate these. And then I'm gonna duplicate that, and we're gonna get to the point where those are of even spacing. Now that's a little bit too far, sorry. Maybe drag this in just a bit more, and then we'll duplicate this and get it there and then there. All right, so that's looking pretty good right there. So this one's centered. This one would be centered right here. If we just move these over holding shift, we can use our guides. And then now we can take these four, duplicate them, and we want this to be centered up in line with that add blocks type right there. I think that's probably pretty good. There we go. Use your keyboard up arrow keys, and we can duplicate these just like that. So based on which ones, if you refer back to the client brief, you'll see, offers all four, all but retargeting. So I've already done that and figured that out. So this one we remove. We remove these two for this one, and we remove this one, and then that is all even and correct. All right, so that is looking pretty solid. I think the alignment here is pretty good with the spacing of these sections. I can go ahead, group this. All right, I am liking it. Now, one thing we could also do, we could put little dividers like we did up in the hero section. So let's take our line tool, and we'll just make it our background color. So our background color is right there. Now you could go lighter. Let's leave that here. We'll duplicate this. All right, roughly right there. We could go lighter. So if we take these four and we break this, yeah, we could choose this color, primary color 25, and that just gives us the separator between these elements. All right, so one thing I don't like is the amount of white space right here. It doesn't feel even. So one thing we could do is just we can take, let's just ungroup everything. We can take all of this right here, deselect the background, and then just push this all over here so that there's equal white space on this side. And there we go. Great. Pretty solid so far. So let's refer back to our wireframe. Next section is the trust logos along with a call to action. I think we'll just handle that in one video, and then in the next video we will do the footer navigation. Awesome stuff.